Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura with Stitchin with Laura. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's having a great Saturday and a great weekend. Well, as you can see, we're going to be working on these, I call them watercolor peony roses. Yeah, because I'm not real sure, but the leaves do look like roses, so I'm going to go with roses, like old-fashioned roses. And I'm working right here on this top part because, doing the background just wasn't about this or about me. So it is a 40 by 50 is what I was going to tell you, and it's an 11 count. So we're going to finish up what we stitched over here, and then I'll change colors. So what's everybody up to? Are you having a good weekend? Are you doing all kinds of fun things? Or are you just staying at home? Well, that could be fun too. Staying at home and stitching or diamond painting or crafting of some kind. Yeah, I find it very therapeutic. And I thought I'd use my new little refrigerator magnet, but I use it for a needle minder. It's awesome. Love it. Love the colors. Oh my goodness, yesterday. Let's see, what did I do yesterday? Anything exciting? Well, I cut down the box that the water heater came in. That was a real plus, and that was a fun chore. Since I had to cut it apart with a knife. Oh, it was special. Yeah. So, did that, took that down to the trash, and the mail never showed up. I don't know what their problem is, but I wish they'd get their act together. And while I was at the trash, I found two. I know that you can go to these, I don't know, furniture outlet type places where you buy like the chairs separate from the table. They used to have one of those up in, Lawrence, I think, in Kansas. When I'd go and take my stepson up to his mom's house, she lived in, oh Lord, I can't think. I don't know if it was Lawrence or not. I don't remember the name of the town. Maybe it was Ottawa. But I guess that shop wasn't at Lawrence. It was in Ottawa, or like on the highway. And anyway, so while I was at the trash, there were 4 chairs. And they're probably 16 inches for the seat, and then the back is kind of rounded, like that. I liked them, and they were wood, and they're real heavy. But I knew I couldn't use 4 of them, so I took 2 of those. Then I found an artist easel that, all folds up and everything. I always wanted one of those when I painted, but, here we are, and I don't paint too often. And picked that up, and then there was a little table. It had like wrought iron legs on it, and the top of it is metal, and it's real skinny and not very tall. It's probably 2 feet tall, possibly 3. I don't know. Just guessing, 2.5 feet tall. And it's like a little table. You could use it, since it's wrought iron or iron of some kind, or metal of some kind, like to sit out on a porch, with your chair and stuff. So it's not very high. So I got that, and I drug all that crap home, and I still don't know exactly what it is I'm going to do with it, or the chairs. I thought the chairs would be nice, if you had extra company, that kind of thing. But also, it would be nice to put up to my card table, and that way I could use them when I work on diamond paintings on the card table. But I have to do few other things. I don't know if I'll get that done or not. Like move some of these tubs around and make room for that card table. But I thought it'd make a nice little area to do diamond painting, especially the Great Wall, because it's so wide it won't fit on my desk. But because there's stuff like this way and there's stuff that way, so it just knocks it off, and it's very inconvenient to work on a big diamond painting that's too wide for the table. So that's why I was going to get out the card table again. So we'll see. We'll see. You know, it just seems like every time I set up a table somewhere, it becomes this suck-in for all kinds of crap that you could just lay there. Just lay it right there. Yeah. Not real good at things like that. So, I don't know if that's, what I will use those for, if I'll just save them for company or what, but they were in really awesome shape. It's like somebody had painted them. So, I may repaint them. I don't know if I get that ambitious. I'm just not much into painting furniture, if you will. So, we'll see. Because then you got to put the, what do you call it? Like a polyurethane coating over it. Yeah, it just goes on and on. No, that was my mother's bag. She liked to refurnish furniture, if you will. She did, like, I had an antique, I didn't. They had this antique baby high chair, and she redid it and found out it was made about 15 different kinds of wood, because I think it was made during the Depression. So, yeah. But she also redid 2 trunks, one for my sister and one for me, and they were antique trunks. I still have mine. I'm assuming my sister still has hers. But, yeah. I always thought that trunk was so cool when I was little. I could hardly wait for my grandmother to open it. It was full of adult shit, but I thought it was so cool. It was so interesting. So, when I got married the first time, she redid that. Well, not when I got remarried, but when I got to be a teenager when we lived in Chicago. So it was like 1970 something. She redid that in white provincial. So it was white and gold, because at that time I had that white provincial furniture in my bedroom. And then we put lovely 1970s contact paper. You remember contact paper. Do they still make contact paper? Yeah. On the inside of it, Yeah, it was cool. So, I've still got it. I've been hauling it around for forever. But absolutely love it. It belonged to, I believe, my great-grandfather, and he actually took that trunk when it was a trunk that was for use. I mean, it wasn't something like she bought as an antique. He used that trunk when he went to work on the Golden Gate Bridge in California. So, yeah, and it actually probably had keys and all that kind of stuff. So, I have no idea how old it is, but we keep dragging it around. What can I say? And it still has some of the 1970s contact paper in it after all these years. So that's held up. So, yeah. So she liked to do furniture and strip it and blah, 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 and whatever you do, because I haven't got a clue. Yeah, she liked to do that. And, yeah, it was not my game. Too messy, and it smells bad, and you got to have a place to actually do that, either in a garage or, outside for sure, because you're using, like, varnish and shellac or whatever the heck it is. Like I said, I don't remember the terminology anymore. So, yeah. Just trying to finish up this thread. And yesterday I worked on the lady, the antique woman with the dragon. I started sewing on the dragon, so I'm really happy. I'm just using 2 threads because it took the same 2 shades of red that is in the bottom of her dress that we worked on last week. I'm like, hey, yeah, let's just do that. Okay. I told you I'd jump around. I can't do things, you know. No, doesn't happen. I'm too distracted for that. My attention span, it's getting worse, I swear, as I get older. Now, where is that thread? Oh my goodness. Still got it. Yay. Way to go, Olivia. Oh, so I have no clue what I'm going to do today. But I thought I'd do a video and then we'll kind of go from there. Let's see what this color looks like next to this. We're just going to start right in somewhere. Yesterday, I didn't get much done at all, from what you can tell. So, today I'm going to try to organize all these kits and put them in the proper things that they go in and straighten up this front room so I can get out my Great Wall. It's sitting over here, rolled up against the wall, because I have no place else to put it, and I don't want anything to happen to it. So you may see a video with it in it after I get everything organized. This color isn't too much darker than the last. Well, I do love this picture. It is so pretty. I think the leaves will really complement it when it's done. See if I can get the needle through there. So no grand plans. My daughter's not going anywhere this weekend. Still snow laying around everywhere. You know, and especially the higher you get, like, we'll call it in the mountains or up in the canyon-ish area. It's not a canyon. No, that ain't a good word. It's just a road that winds through the mountains. How's that? Because it doesn't have, like, you're not driving by rocks and driving by rocks on the ground, but not, you know, where it'd be like driving through 2 sides of a mountain. That ain't, no. So, I don't know. We're both about kind of ready to go somewhere, but we don't know where to go because we don't want to get up there in the snow and get stuck. So, yeah. So the higher you go, there's more snow. It's been snowing pretty much on the mountain. It's supposed to snow tomorrow and Tuesday. So we'll see how well that goes. I don't know. It may or it may not happen. How about that? See, you really can't hardly tell. Let me see if I can bring you in closer. Not too much. So I'm hoping the next color I pick, it's going to be different. Make a difference, you know. A dramatic difference. But that symbol was right there, so we're just going to work on it, right? That's how that goes. I don't know what this orange dash symbol is. Or, well, it's not orange, it's actually red. It is 3697, number 37. So the next color, whoa, is going to be this one. So, see, I should have picked that one, but that's okay. It all needs to be stitched. It's not a big deal, right? Oh my goodness. And I put in probably 6 or 8 strands on that dragon one, just in 2 colors. That's a combination of both, you know, colors and everything. And we're still not getting too far. But I wanted to start the dragon. Why not? That's what I was working for last week, and I ended up having the wrong one. Don't you love it? I think my problem is I have too many things that are similar. I was picking out stuff for to do another review, you know, for them to send to me. And what am I looking at? Peonies, dragons, geishas. I'm like, okay, back up, do something else. Because now I have like 4 or 5 peony ones going. And about 3, possibly 4, well, that doesn't even count my Peking ladies. Geisha ones. It's like, we need to look at something else. I just can't seem to find any, like landscape or different kind of flowers. Yeah, that I like. So, that's where we're at. And I don't think I'll order any more 18 counts. Who knows? I cannot get into it. It's like, my goodness, it's so small and so tiny. First it was cute and petite. Now, it's a pain in the neck for me. I can't see what I'm doing. I do have to get out the magnifying glass, but we'll see. Not glass, but that tall thing with the it's lit up magnifying thing. It's probably this big. I don't know. Takes skill. Just not sure I have that skill. So we will see how that all progresses. And I don't know that I can or I can't film looking through the magnifying glass, you know, with the camera looking through the magnifying thing. Or not. I've never tried that. I'll just have to get brave, right? But it sure would help to be able to see all those little teeny tiny squares. And thank God it's an Ada. If it had been like a 50 count linen, I would have just lost my mind. Yeah, we won't be buying any 36 to 60 linen ever. Nope, that won't be happening. Just watching Brenda and Laura, and they're like, oh yeah, you can see it. I'm like, yeah, not. No. So, yeah, I just gotta pick and choose my poison, you know? Because some things, I'm still not really stuck on 14 count, so this is a stretch for me. So I just keep doing my 11 count. I like it. I like the way it looks. I like the way it turns out. You know, I don't know. There was a point there where I felt like I needed to do things smaller. So I went to 28 count, which is fine. I can actually see 28 count Lugana, or linen. That's not a problem. That 32 count, oh, nope. Not happening. I don't know, and I couldn't decide if I wanted 1 or 2 strands, if it should be like that or not. I got nothing. Let's just stick with what we know. Some days, branching out is not a good idea. Do you have this problem? I like the way that it looks when they stitch on things and make them really small, you know, because Nicola Parkman has done that several times with a few of her patterns, you know, where the sampler ends up being maybe that small. No, not happening. I can't. And I always wanted to do a petty point. Yeah, well, this kind of just quelched that. Of course, you'd only be doing like a half cross stitch on petty point. But isn't it done with wool thread? Needlepoint or petty point? I just thought they were pretty, you know. I just like the way it looks. But we're talking something this big, not an entire frickin' project that's this big. Some things, not happening. So, I used to do needlepoint 100 years ago, back in the 70s. And I liked how it turned out, but I wasn't real fond of stitching with yarn. That's what we were using. I have no idea what the count was. That was not even in my brain of realm of my brain that, you know, I'd even pay attention to how big it was. It was big enough to use regular worsted weight thread. I mean, not thread. Yarn. So I got nothing. Maybe it was 14 count. I don't know if it's counted the same way or not. I took a piece of that. I don't know where I got it. Not a clue. But we had to do a project, and I think I was doing like the history of Mickey Mouse and everything that went along with that, and I took a picture of Mickey Mouse and I drew it onto the needlepoint thing, and it was probably 11 by 14 was the size of the piece, maybe even a little bit bigger, you know. So the actual picture was 11 by 14 when it was done, and I did that all in needlepoint. I know it sounds glamorous, but it was just pretty simple, you know, red, black, and yellow, and we were done. I don't know where I got the picture, not a clue. It was before the internet. I got nothing. I don't know if I blew it up. I can't remember all the particulars, and heaven knows where that was, but I put it in the front of the folder that I had the report in. Had like a pocket in the front. They probably don't even make these like that. And I put that needlepoint in the front of it. So, yeah. But I finished it before I had to have the report out, so it went pretty fast because I was only doing half stitches. Yeah, I don't know where that went to. It gone and lost forever. Not a clue. Because of course we got, you know, the projects back after we finished it, because it had to be graded and all that crap. So, yeah. Things you do in high school. So that wasn't useless. That was pretty good. But I always said that the crap you learn in school sometimes doesn't even apply to real life. Like algebra. Okay, maybe somebody sees that a different way than I do, but I've never used algebra a day in my life after I got out of high school. I didn't even like it when I was in high school. So, yeah. What can I say? So maybe I'll get with it today and start straightening out this front room. I'm not moving it around. I can't. I do not have it in me. If I was going to do that, I should start on a Thursday. That way I got Friday, Saturday, Sunday to recuperate. So that won't be happening today. Oh, goodness. Well, look at that. That actually worked out. Alright, guys. Well, thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me and listening to me ramble on and on and on and on about all kinds of crap besides cross-stitch and diamond painting. Alright, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and please hit the bell. That way you'll know when my next video comes out. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you next time. God bless. Bye-bye. Keep stitching.